with any details of the deals with China given Trump's threats now?
Just one thing I would like to say is I think it's important for Canadians to understand, and I think Mr. Miller and others have been very clear. We're not seeking a comprehensive free trade agreement with China. That was never on the table. We've come to a trade arrangement where we're able to reduce tariffs that certainly matter for Canadian industry, Canadian farmers, seafood industry. At the same time, find a pathway for investment in the auto sector in Canada. And I think it's important. I'm going to pull off my glove here. Can you hold my copies? Thank you very much.
Am I getting a raise?
I do think it's important for Canadians to understand. I was looking this morning, actually. Here's a press release from the White House on November 1st, and it reads, President Trump strikes a deal on economic and trade relationships with China. That came out of APEC. So what we have done as a government is consistent with what the United States has done with China, which is find a pathway to create market access for, in their case, it was American soy farmers and agricultural producers, and obviously find a pathway. They're selling AI chips to China. So they found a pathway not on a free comprehensive trade deal, but just on certain arrangements to reduce tariffs. We're following the same path. We're following the Canadian interest, and we think it's the right pathway.
There's a lot at stake when you talk about renegotiating a CUSMA, especially for people in your writing. How hopeful are we that it's actually going to happen?
Well, look, we've always been consistent that we believe the best pathway is a continental arrangement and free trade agreement that has been consistently good for both countries. I just think that it's important for Canadian political commentators, for Canadians at home to understand that everything that the government has done, everything the Prime Minister has done, has been in the national interest and is frankly consistent with what the United States themselves have done vis-a-vis China back in the fall of 2025. And continuing the caucus.
Minister, what's your message to veterans after what Donald Trump said about that NATO allies did not go on the front line?
So the service of Canadians in Afghanistan, the 40,000 individuals who served and the families who stood with them is incredibly important, and we acknowledge that contribution. Canadians have stood with our allies at times of need, and we will continue to stand with those who serve our country in uniform.
Does this hurt Canada's relationship with the U.S.? We know how deep it is in our defense industry and our military. To hear the President of the United States say that about his allies.
You know, Canada has a proud history of working together with our allies. We will continue to do so, and we will focus on standing together with the Canadians who serve our country in uniform. Thank you.
Mr. Fraser, how concerned should Canadians be about Trump's threat of 100% tariffs, in your view?
Look, I find that we've seen a number of different comments coming out of the President's office over the last number of months, and it doesn't necessarily change the strategy that we need to put in place. Canadians have woken up to the reality that we need to work on the measures that are going to allow us to succeed at home despite whatever uncertainty may exist in the global economy. The world has changed significantly, and Canadians should be able to put some faith that we have the tools here at home that we need to succeed. It's going to require us to make some pretty big changes when it comes to how we get big things done here, and it's going to require us to resolutely pursue opportunities with countries all over the world to make sure that the goods that we produce here in Canada will be able to find markets that create good paying jobs at home.
And Mr. Poilievre is offering to be more cooperative. I wonder what you make of that offer, and if you believe that there will be a change.
Well, look, I hope so. I can tell you at home, over the holidays and during the last election campaign and on an ongoing basis, people don't want to have their politics characterized by internal fights within Canada. If there's different points of view, those points of view need to be expressed, need to be fully debated. But there's no patience for personal snipes, for deep partisanship that doesn't advance progress. People want us to collaborate where we can to advance the common good for communities across the country. If that's the spirit that other parties are going to take this parliamentary sitting, it would be a pleasant change. Répétez?
Dans votre circonscription,
Oui.
des tarifs de 100%,
Ok.
ça voudrait dire quoi?
Maintenant, il y a beaucoup de perspectives dans ma circonscription, mais il y a seul l'enjeu des habilités pour des entreprises de conduire des entreprises dans les États-Unis et dans le monde entier. Il est essentiel pour défendre l'intérêt du Canada. Juste dans ma circonscription, nous avons une usine de Michelin qui a le pneu et il y a 75% de les produits arrivés dans les États-Unis. Il y a quelques 300 personnes, familles, qui dépendent dans la vérité pour continuer d'opérer en Nouvelle-Écosse et obtenir des opportunités dans des autres pays et les États-Unis en particulier. C'est très sérieux, mais la solution demande des changements pour avancer des opportunités économiques partout dans notre pays, mais en même temps pour créer des opportunités pour engager avec des autres partenaires dans le monde entier. Ce n'est pas facile, mais il est essentiel et mes électeurs me disent continue dans les voies comme les discours de le Premier ministre à Davos, engagés dans le monde, mais défendre l'intérêt canadien chaque jour.
Est-ce que ça peut attirer des députés conservateurs qui passeraient encore aux libéraux?
La priorité pour moi maintenant est juste écouter le Canadien, avancer des mesures qui soutenaient les personnes qui ont des défis pour la vulnérabilité, pour l'économie, pour assurer le gouvernement défendre l'intérêt des personnes qui habitent au Canada. Si la bonne gouvernance attirer des autres députés, c'est une bonne chose, mais la priorité est pour la libre marchandise pour mes électeurs. Merci.
We haven't had the meeting yet.
Well, you must know in broad strokes, like tell us, and just in general, what are some of the caucus priorities?
Canadians' economy.
Not Donald Trump.
It's Canadians' economy. We're focused on Canada.
And how does Donald Trump play into that?
Well, Donald Trump's the President of the United States, but look, we do what we're going to do. We have to look after Canadians. The Prime Minister's been pretty clear on his messaging on that. We're focused on what our goals are as a government. And we'll hit the ground running tomorrow morning after a productive caucus meeting all day today.
And how do you see this next session going with collaboration with the other parties to get some of your bills passed?
How do you see what, sir?
Get some of your bills passed this next sitting.
Well, look, we were successful at that in the fall. I hope that the other parties see the situation we're in and realize this is not a time to play politics, and they'll work with us to get legislation through because we have a lot of important pieces that are before the House that we need to get done, and I think they'll see the light. Mr. Poilievre has signaled a willingness to work with us. Let's see if he's true to his word.
And can I ask you, how difficult, though, is it to get some of these priorities done when every other day it seems President Trump is launching a new attack, either on Canada or allies?
Don't get distracted. We just keep focused on what we're doing. All I can control is what I do every day. All we can control is what we're doing every day. If I get thrown off by what somebody else is saying, it's not going to lead me to a productive outcome. So you just keep doing what we're doing and stay focused. That's all. Thank you.
Ça fait froid.
Il fait froid,
Il
hein?
fait froid.
Pour les gens dans votre circonscription, là, proche des États-Unis, si M. Trump va de l'avant avec sa menace de mettre des tarifs de 100% sur les produits canadiens, ça voudrait dire quoi pour les entreprises de votre part?
Bon, c'est grave, c'est vraiment grave, mais voilà, on verra ce qui se passe. Je crois que ce qui est important maintenant, c'est de rester calme et d'assurer que le Premier ministre continue à parler avec le président. Mais bien sûr, pour notre circonscription, ça serait vraiment, vraiment grave.
Est-ce que les entreprises en particulier pourraient être touchées?
Beaucoup. Ben, voilà, la plupart des entreprises qui sont des manufacturers,
Oui.
Comme en haut de 70% de leurs marchandises va aux États-Unis. Alors, c'est une relation qui est importante. C'est clair, nous habitons à moins d'une heure des frontières et notre économie est basée sur le commerce avec les États-Unis. C'est
Donc,
sûr.
est-ce qu'il est allé trop loin à Davos, M. Carney, s'il a l'air d'avoir fâché le président?
Voilà, on verra comment ça continue. J'ai confiance dans le Premier ministre qu'il va continuer d'avoir des bonnes conversations avec le président des États-Unis. Et on va voir comment ça va, mais ce qui est sûr, c'est que c'est des relations importantes, économiques. Mais il y a une présidente dans les États-Unis qui a une différente vision de cette relation. Alors, on doit assurer que nous nous protégeons comme Canadiens et que nous continuons de travailler sur cette relation, mais de nos valeurs aussi. Alors, c'est une situation importante, mais on verra comment ça déroule.
Merci, Mme Gould.
Merci.
Les gouvernements, est-ce qu'ils sont chamboulés avec ce que dit M. Trump aux États-Unis présentement?
Nos priorités, c'est de poursuivre dans la veine et dans le mandat que nous avons su, c'est de bâtir le Canada, bâtir la capacité du Canada à faire du commerce international.
Là, ça avait l'air de bien aller, mais là, il menace, il revient avec le gouverneur, il revient avec des menaces de 100 de tarifs. Est-ce que ça change la donne pour vous?
Ça ne change aucunement la stratégie du gouvernement, qui est de diversifier nos échanges commerciaux, qui est de, oui, éventuellement atteindre une entente avec les États-Unis, mais plus généralement de bâtir la capacité du Canada de bâtir le pays.
What's your government priorities?
We're going to continue to pursue on the mandate that we were given by the Canadian electorate, which is to build this country, to build our capacity to trade with the world, to diversify our trading arrangements, including those with the United States when that is possible to be achieved.
Does it make it difficult to achieve those priorities when Donald Trump will tweet out threats against Canada?
We believe we have a strong mandate from the Canadian people. We're going to continue pursuing that mandate, and we'll have a lot of legislation, a lot of initiatives, a lot of things to propose to Canadians in this upcoming
La
session.
collaboration des conservateurs, ça va vous aider. Les conservateurs promettent de vous aider, ils vont collaborer.
On prend note de ce que M. Poilievre dit. C'est un léger changement de ton. On va analyser ses propositions. J'ajouterais qu'il ne s'agit pas de l'ensemble de l'agenda du gouvernement, même pas l'ensemble des mesures que nous proposons pour faire face aux crimes au pays. Donc, je vais approfondir avec M. Scheer ce que M. Poilievre entend, mais ce que pour nous représenterait un progrès et une collaboration réelle en Chambre.
Être majoritaire en 2026, ça vous intéresse? Et qu'est-ce que vous allez faire pour trouver d'autres transfuges?
Nous, on va continuer dans l'esprit et sur la lettre de ce que les Canadiens nous ont donné comme mandat. Et toutes les mesures que nous allons proposer dans cette session-ci vont refléter le mandat qui nous a été conféré.
Et vous croyez que pouvoir avoir un gouvernement majoritaire en 2026?
Moi, mon travail, c'est de travailler avec les partis en Chambre et avec le Parlement tel qu'il est et de faire avancer sur le mandat du gouvernement.
What is Poilievre's offer to work with you, and has the Conservative Party formally reached out? Have you had conversations with them so far?
Well, we note the change in tone. I suspect that Canadians living in conservative ridings have let it be known to a number of MPs who in turn make that known here in this place that they want to have a different tone with the government, that they approve largely the growth agenda of the government, the trade agenda of the government. We're going to continue working on those agendas, and obviously we want to attract the support of people who represent conservative
Are we
ridings.
expecting more door crossers?
Yes. Don't know about that.
Prime Minister Mark Carney, how are you responding to Trump's threats of 100% tariffs?
Bonjour tout le monde. Good morning. Merci d'être venu. Il fait froid. Je suis ici avec le Caucus des jeunes. Et c'est parce que c'est le focus du gouvernement du Canada et l'avenir, un avenir plus prospère, plus équitable, plus soutenable, plus indépendant pour le Canada. Et maintenant, le défi est de protéger les Canadiens, protéger nos communautés, protéger notre manière de vie et de rendre le soutien aux familles canadiennes dans cette situation d'abordabilité qui est difficile pour plusieurs Canadiens. On a fait des réductions de taxes, des impôts, on va faire de plus. Dans un Parlement, apparemment, qui va avoir plus de coopération, selon le chef de l'opposition. I'll just say a few words and then answer questions. I'm here, very pleased to be here with our Youth Caucus, and we work closely together because the focus of the government is building a new future for Canada, a future that's more prosperous, more independent, more sustainable, and fairer. Now, to get to that future, we have to keep the focus on protecting Canadians, protecting our communities, protecting our borders, protecting our way of life, and supporting many Canadians who feel a squeeze because of living affordability. We've already taken a number of steps, cutting taxes in a variety of ways, key social programs comme le soin dentaire et tous les autres, les garderies, tout cela. dental care, child care as well. There's more to come, and I look forward to working to protect communities, to build this economy, support Canadians with a parliament cooperatively in Parliament and with the premiers. And now,
How are you responding to Trump's threats about 100% tariffs?
well, the first thing is that Canada respects our engagements, our commitments. Il y a des engagements dans l'ACM. We have commitments under CUSMA that not to pursue free trade agreements with non-market economies without prior notification. We have no intention of doing that with China or any other non-market economy. What we've done with China is to rectify some issues that developed in the last couple of years. In many respects, we're going, to use the expression, back to the future with respect to EVs, with respect to agriculture, with respect to fish products and other food products, but with additional protections. So, for example, back in 2023, we didn't have a cap on the number of EVs. We didn't have a requirement for a large proportion of those EVs to be affordable, highly affordable EVs for Canadians. So it's entirely consistent with CUSMA, with our obligations, which we very much respect under CUSMA, and will continue to work that way forward.
Sur l'abordabilité,
Oui.
vos actions et vos propos récemment semblent avoir fâché Donald Trump, qui vous appelle maintenant le gouverneur, qui dit on va avoir des tarifs de 100% sur le Canada. En quoi ça va rendre la tâche? Est-ce que vous n'êtes pas d'hypothéquer l'abordabilité canadienne en vous mettant à dos le président américain?
Non. Premier point. En ce qui concerne l'abordabilité, l'impact des tarifs américains seront sur l'abordabilité américaine, pas l'abordabilité canadienne. En ce qui concerne l'abordabilité canadienne, on protège les filets sociaux, y compris les garderies, les soins dentaires, le programme national d'alimentation pour les enfants, par exemple. Il y en a 3, il y en a plusieurs. On a déjà réduit les impôts et il y aura d'autres mesures significatives dans les prochains jours.
Donc, ce qu'a dit M. Donald Trump...
All right, there you have it. I hope you'll leave your comments and give us a like, follow, and subscribe. We'll be back later. Have a good afternoon.